Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls have been on a very high as of late, with all these quotes coming out from Billy Donovan and all these quotes from Arturius and how we're going to plan to run this team in the future. And in doing that, there's been a lot of rumors circling around about potential signings that the Chicago Bulls could very well do to make sure this team is the best suited it could possibly be. Now, this one that I'm going to talk about is nothing too major in terms of our future, but it's someone that we all extremely love and is very welcomed with open arms with the Chicago Bulls. Let's talk about Joakim Noah. Let's do it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's the Aidan Sports Show. How are you guys doing today? We've got a Joakim Noah to the Chicago Bulls video. It's been circling around for a number of hours, possibly even days now, and it's something that I really thought it would be very interesting to talk about in relation to what you guys would think of Joakim Noah coming to the Chicago Bulls. But before we get into that, of course, as always, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Of course, I would love to know what you guys think in the comments about Joakim Noah. Do you think he's the right fit with this today's Chicago Bulls? What do you think he can bring to us? And overall, is this the right move that the Chicago Bulls should be looking at the moment? Without further ado, let's get into it. So originally, this was something that for me was a no story, but of course it started to escalate pretty quickly after the press conference. Now, Billy Donovan said that he spoke about Joakim Noah, and he said that Joakim Noah loves this city. He loves Chicago. He's always loved Chicago. There's no question about it. Every time he's asked about Chicago, it's praise. It's praise. It's love. It's everything that Chicago Bulls fans want to hear when previous players talk about this franchise. And it's happened again, basically saying to Billy Donovan in his own time, not even on TV or anything, he loves the city, he loves the fans, he's thinking about coming to do charity work in Chicago and all these positive things, and that's potentially led to a debate and even potentially some rumors that Billy Donovan could be seeking out Joakim Noah to the Chicago Bulls. Now, Let's get things off here, because I feel like a lot of people might be very intrigued by this, because at the end of the day, this is a nostalgia player coming back, one of the best Chicago Bulls centers that we've ever seen. And not only that, he's given everything to this team, and he's done so with aggression, with passion, with love, with hustle. He's the perfect player, in my opinion, to come back as a leader type role and make sure these young guys know what it feels like and what it should be like playing in Chicago and how to actually go about playing with this team. Overall, if you look at the positives and negatives, I want to get a few of the positives out of the way first, because of course, for me, this is a great thing. With Joakim Noah, the first positive is it's only going to be a veteran minimum. We're not going to pay over the odds. We're not going to do a New York and give him a crap load of money. But at the end of the day, it's definitely going to be a veteran minimum. He's going to come in. He's probably not going to play. So if you guys think that he's going to come in and fill a position for us and play all the time, every single game, that's not going to be the case either. It reminds me more of a Udonis Haslem type thing, where Udonis Haslem was on the Heat for so long, but he barely played. He only really played when it was garbage time minutes, or really played when someone was injured. That's where Joakim Noah would come into this situation. He's going to be a player that probably doesn't play as much. I mean, he's still in the NBA. Well, he's not anymore because the Clippers are out, but he was on the Clippers, and it was basically the same thing. The guy barely played, and when he did play, everyone was happy that he played. And the Chicago Bulls, it will be no different. He's going to come in when someone's injured or if it's garbage time. The Chicago Bulls are going to give him a round of applause pretty much every single time he comes onto the court for us, and then that will be it. I think what he brings more off the court is going to be the biggest positive. Again, I mentioned the leadership role, but not only that, it's about teaching these young guys how to win. And Joakim Noah knows how to win. Yes, championships were not part of his career, and maybe that could still be a thing. If he went to another team, he could try and go for a championship. But at the end of the day, he has been further in the playoffs than I think every single player on that team. Maybe Thaddeus Young. I'm not sure about Thaddeus Young, but I think everybody else, it's very certain that Joakim Noah has taken his career further. So he knows these situations that these young guys don't know. He knows what it's like to win. He knows what it's like to be a part of a team and he knows what it's like to get the team motivated. And at the end of the day, that is a good player for us. Whether he plays or not, he knows these types of situations, and he, in my opinion, would be a great asset off the court for the Chicago Bulls. Now, if you're looking at the negatives, obviously you could say that his age is a big negative. Are you sure you want to bring someone that's not really going to play for us? And at the end of the day, that's the big negative here. Basically, his age. Maybe we're not looking to the future enough, and we keep leaning onto the past and all these things. But at the end of the day, Luol Deng retired with pretty much like a one-day contract for the Chicago Bulls, and he retired just because he wanted to retire on the Chicago Bulls. At the end of the day, we're going to treat a lot of players that were within that team like the way that they deserve to be treated. Joakim Noah deserves to come back. If this is his final year, or this is his final few years with the Chicago Bulls, however long he's going to stay on the veteran minimum and work and come in when he's ready and play the garbage time minutes, or if someone does get injured, he's coming in and he's starting and he does something for us. He deserves that. At the end of the day, he's given so much to this team. I don't see any reason why he can't come back on a veteran minimum, play 1 year, play 2 years at max. Maybe it depends on how he feels at the end of the day, and let him retire as a Chicago Bull. Why would this be a bad thing? And I don't see anybody really talking about the negatives of Joakim Noah coming, and because there's not that many negatives to talk about. And look, we all talk about it. We all talk about Joakim Noah. We all talk about Derrick Rose coming back. Maybe one day Jimmy Butler coming back. A lot of them have even said quotes saying one day it'd be very awesome to come back to Chicago. Jimmy Butler said that. Derrick Rose has constantly said that Chicago will always be a team he's interested in going to. So if Joakim Noah wants to come back for a basically little to no money whatsoever for a Chicago Bulls team, then in my opinion, why not do this deal? Why not? Why not make this happen? I really do think that this is a player. I mean, it does fill in a roster spot. Maybe we could use that elsewhere, but I just think this is good. I really do think this is a good move to bring back some of the players that actually made it successful for the mentality more than just the physical ability to play at the time. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't think Joakim Noah is good enough to be the starting center. I don't think anybody thinks that at the moment. But the mentality of him will absolutely change this team, in my opinion. He's a workhorse as well. He works extremely hard. At the end of the day, this is something that I think should definitely be happening for the Chicago Bulls. And this could open the door for other players that wants to come back to Chicago, like Derrick Rose. Everyone wants to talk about Derrick Rose coming back to Chicago. We need to make it happen. Maybe this opens the door for Derrick Rose to come back to Chicago, because he will probably know that at the end of the day, the Chicago Bulls are going to welcome him. And look, this is perfect. This is just one step of many. At the end of the day, would I take Joakim Noah for the Chicago Bulls? You've seen this entire video, all 7 minutes of it. So the answer is yes. I would take Joakim Noah for the Chicago Bulls, especially on a veteran minimum. It's not like we're paying him over the odds to get him here. He is going to come here for the bare minimum and prove why he loves Chicago, and that's off the court and on the court. So in the end, this is a perfect deal for me. I understand that people want to look to the future, not really dwell on the past, not have past players come here and get a paycheck and not really do anything. But at the end of the day, sometimes you need to look and get experience from the past, from past players that were successful for this franchise to look to the future. Sometimes the future happens from the past. At the end of the day, the past leads to the future. So we should definitely be looking into this and give us some real thought. If it doesn't happen, of course, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I don't think it's going to be a hard-on done. This is going to happen. Like, it's never going to be like that. I do think that this is something that could happen. It's something I would like to happen. It's not something I think that will happen. But if it does happen, I have no issues with it whatsoever. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really wanted to talk about this because this was been spoken about by a few people. I think SB Nation was the first one that I saw that talked about it. And at the end of the day, when Billy Donovan is speaking highly of Joakim Noah and saying that he might come back for charity work and all of that, there's a potential there that he would want to come play for the Chicago Bulls again. And if he loves us so much and he would want to come back, I'm sure he would want to come back. And if the Bulls have a spot available for him for very minimal money, I don't see any harm in doing it. I really don't. But at the end of the day, you guys will have your own opinions. I would like to know what you think in the comments below. If you guys don't want to dwell on the past and think maybe we should be looking for a roster spot that could eventually play for us one day down the line from the G League or whatever you want, wherever you want that spot to be, that's completely understandable. Again, this deal's not going to be for everybody. There's going to be people that love this deal just because it's Joakim Noah. There's going to be people that think that it's a good deal because of the mentality they have on these players off the court, but it's also going to be a bad deal for some people because that's a roster spot that could be used for the future. Whatever you guys want to say, I think maybe it's really up to Billy Donovan at the end of the day, and it's not going to do something. It's not something that's going to majorly impact us, but it is something that I think should be welcomed. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I want to make a Chicago Bulls video next about if we're going to be in a real rebuilding stage next season or not, because there's been a lot of talk that Billy Donovan came to the Bulls and he said, or people on his behalf said, that he didn't want to rebuild. So I do want to quickly talk about that and maybe see where the Chicago Bulls are really at this point in time and where we will be after the draft and how far can this Bulls team go. And hopefully it's going to be a good video. But hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.